of the question being raised. The CS is here. The question that Senator Seki has asked, the CS has capacity to respond to the question being asked. I don't see why a senator should rise on a point of order and seek substantiation when the subject of the question is in the House. I mean, it doesn't make sense, what I'm saying.
Senator Wambua, you are out of order. Substantiation is of a point of fact. And Senator Seki, you have asked for more time. The next session is this afternoon. Please, you'll have the opportunity to substantiate. Can you finalize your question, please?
So, Honorable Speaker, I wanted the Cabinet Secretary to clarify why these killings. We have been having public engagement, rallies in Kajiado. My people are being killed like rats, and he's in the office. And in one incident, he gave instructions. Is it because of that? That is the question. He needs to clarify to this House. And if it's not that, then he needs to apologize to Kenyans why my people in Kajiado are being killed like rats by the same government.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just wanted to ask the CS, now that he has provided the data as to mob injustices killings, does he also have a data for mistaken identity killings? Because a lot of times in those mob justice scenarios or injustice, it's a case of mistaken identity. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is, I wanted to find out from the CS, between his ministry and the Minister of Transport, if they have any plan, because sometimes, Madam Speaker, some of the mob injustices arise as a result of road accidents between border riders and vehicles. So do they have a plan or policy in place so that, there should be some continuous sensitization, training of the border riders on these laws?
Senator Nyoto.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The CS has said that, of course, having admitted that mob justice or injustice is happening because people, and the CS has said that one of the steps that the ministry is taking is under number 4, establishing accessible and structured mechanisms through which members of the public can lodge complaints or report misconduct. And these include reporting to Police Quality Assurance Department and the Internal Affairs Unit. So, Madam Speaker, my question is, until there was an attack on ACK Wetima in Othaya Nyeri, very few people in Kenya had heard about this Internal Affairs Unit within the police. So the question then to CS Murkomen is, exactly where is it based? Where will our people be able to report to? And can they trust the Internal Affairs Unit of the police, where the police are investigating fellow police officers who commit injustices? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Aaron Cheruiyot.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also have a question. This is a very serious matter we are discussing, because mob justice on many occasions leads actually to death, and we have been given the statistics by the minister. And the minister should pay very close attention to this subject, particularly those that are politically instigated. For example, Madam Speaker, I've just seen a video of a young man who was attacked by a mob this morning, people carrying machetes and rungus somewhere in Nyamira, because I think he held a contra-review to the ongoings by a section of the political faction in the country. And therefore, there is a connection between politicians and their political activities and some of these mob justice incidences, which perhaps a ministry needs to give policy direction on, and the desire to hold political players who maybe incite young people to violence and things of the sort to be brought to book as a lesson, because it may not be possible, Madam Speaker, to arrest those people who commit those acts at that particular time, but at least the politicians that instigate them, if they are known, particularly those that are actively engaging young people to engage in such activities. What plans do the ministry have? And you know, Madam Speaker, why it should be of concern to the minister is that in 2021, when we were in the opposition with him, we were victims of political mob justice also in a place called London Ward in Nakuru. And the only reason why perhaps maybe he may have forgotten is that because he's quicker than me, he ran faster and he did not fall
too short because of the left time. Now we have 4 more senators. Ask your question quick because we only have 10 minutes for all those questions to be asked and answered. Senator Hezena.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I welcome the CS House. Just remind him that he should please kindly be picking our calls. Madam Speaker, there has been rising menace, like I said recently in a statement I made on the floor of this House on the gangs are across the whole country, and Samburu, Madam Speaker, was not an exception, because in Maralal town,
Senator, sorry to rush you. Please just go straight to the question. The time is short.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to know what the ministry has done to ensure that the police at the grassroots are strengthened and facilitated enough to be able to deal with the criminal gangs that are mushrooming across the whole country, especially in urban centers. In Maralal, we had a case of a boy being
Senator,
stabbed.
your question has been asked. Senator Veronica.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. CS, on this question of mob justice, I don't know whether you have put focus on the conflict between border sector when there are accidents, because some of those mob justices have occurred from those incidences. And number 2, from politically instigated public gatherings. Honorable CS, you should feel the freedom to even ban public gatherings if people are going to be clobbered and beaten, killed in the name of politics.
Senator Veronica, please just ask the question.
And Honorable, let me then ask the specific question. Why are you not working very closely with IEBC to ensure politicians who have overstepped their mandate within a public gathering which turns violent is brought to book and punished for those actions? Women are...
Swali langu ni kuuliza waziri wa ulinzi.
Senator Mundigi, sio Bwana Speaker.
Madam Speaker, swali langu ni kuuliza waziri wa ulinzi, kulingana na joto ile inaendelea vyama na tunaelekea uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 2000 ndio tusipate shinda kwa
Sogola.
Speaker, last weekend I was at home with the public.
Ogola,
The question
on Honorable Seki on police brutality. I think he came late. I served as his vice chair for a few days in this chamber before I was appointed to the cabinet. And Senator Seki knows very well who I am, and or ought to know that I cannot order any killing of anybody. If he is referring to an incident that happened when the Kikuyu law courts were banned, and I asked a rhetorical question to the public as to whether if a man comes with guns to steal guns from a police officer, whether the police officer should not use force. I also moved forward, Madam Speaker, to provide later on 18th of July 2025 a document, a policy document that I can be held accountable. I can be held into account for on 18th of July that spells out incidences where the police officers can use force and they can use their firearm. I do not mind sharing the same letter to Senator Seki or through the Senate social WhatsApp group, which has now been made public that I'm a member previously by the minority whip of the Senate. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, on the question of, to speak, Kitengela is facing very serious challenge, and I think the senator should not simplify that issue. Kitengela is a serious hotspot for criminal gangs that are actually utilized by politicians, particularly that share very close relations with the senator. And Madam Speaker, Kitengela's problem has not just happened yesterday. It has been an issue for the last 15 or so years. It was also more serious when Michuki was the cabinet secretary or the minister at that point in time. And it was one of the areas that was full of Mungiki sect players that caused havoc in both Kajiado and Nairobi from as early as 2000. So that effort that the police have done so far has improved the status of Kitengela. However, politicians, and particularly those who want to incite the public against the government, have been hiring young boys and goons and criminals in the name of protests. And I don't want the senator to provoke me to say more than that because of mutual respect. But what is important is to say that it is important for the political actors on both sides of the political divide, but specifically those who held rallies recently and those who organized Maandamano last year, to stop utilizing young people and arming them to cause violence with rungus, machetes, and all that, and provoking police officers. In fact, in our national police security strategy, Kitengela, we have a particular plan about Kitengela, including when the president recently told us to think about the Nairobi metropolitan security sector, Kitengela and some parts of, together with some parts of Nairobi, Machakos, Kiambu, are actually hotspots that we need to really look at criminal gangs. And I'm not saying goons, criminal gangs that operate from Kitengela itself. This is a threat to national security, and I do not wish the senator to think that the people of Kitengela are his people. They are the people of Kenya. They are our people. I wish the senator would use the totality on Honorable Chute again. Sorry, that's what was I already responded to Honorable Chute on that issue. I think the only thing I'll think is the standing order that Honorable Chute read. I think 55 or is it 50? Madam Speaker, it is your discretion to divert from the, the subject matter that we are dealing with and move to other subjects that the Cabinet Secretary did not prepare to come and respond. On Senator Manso's, mob justice is definitely mistaken identity, or, it's the wrong way of doing, because you cannot say different guilt. And people who are others are passerby by mob. it is true what Honorable Kisang and his neighbor, both Senator Kisang and Senator Veronica have raised a similar issue. A sector that is expected that there was going to be and hiding behind border business. And it is really